The greatest hero of all time versus the strongest sorcerer of the modern age. Who wins between these two powerhouses? Let's find out. Hey guys, it's your boy Jake Debates, and today I'm going to be talking about why All Might versus Gojo is not close whatsoever. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit weird. I'm actually sick at the moment. Actually, I've been sick for a while now, so just bear with me for a little bit. So All Might and Gojo are some of the most iconic characters within their respective verses, each being the pinnacle of power for respective verses. So obviously it makes you wonder who would win in a fight. So today that's the question I'm going to be answering, Gojo versus All Might. But before we get into this, please remember to check out my new Discord server, link down below, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. So yeah, let's get straight into this. Now, the similarities between these two characters is the fact that their powers actually come from their hacks, along with most of their scaling also coming from their hacks. For All Might, he has one for all, basically an ability that allows him to stockpile energy and release it with explosive force. And the ability has been passed down from user to user, so it has stockpiled a lot of energy. And it also has different abilities, but All Might doesn't have access to any of those abilities. But since we are using peak All Might for this, he's gonna have all the energy of All for One at his disposal. So let's get into the scaling. Now sadly, we don't really have any scaling for Prime All Might, so we're gonna have to scale Prime All Might off of weakened All Might and other characters. So firstly, during All Might's battle with the first Nomu that we ever see in MHA, All Might defeats the Nomu in 300 punches. But All Might then states that in his prime he could have taken it down with just 5. So if we do some basic mathematics, saying 300 divided by 5, we get 60. But before we use that value, we first have to take into account that in All Might's weakened All Might first appearance, he was able to change the weather with his sheer strength alone. Not his hacks, just his strength. Now if we estimate how much power he would need to do this, we would be getting 144.6 gigatons. And this is weakened All Might. And since we know that Prime All Might is far stronger than Izuku Midoriya, and we know that Izuku Midoriya has a power output of 3.52 gigatons, if we multiply that by our aforementioned 60, that means Prime All Might should be at least 211.2 gigatons. So at least, small country. Prime All Might would also scale far above Stars and Stripes, a character that was able to disperse this much water, which would need enough force to destroy a country to do. So yeah, you can comfortably scale Prime All Might to country level. With FTL speeds, as Stars and Stripes, once again, scaling below Prime All Might, was able to catch a laser at a relatively close distance, which has been calced, not by me, to FTL. So that's what we're going to be sticking with. So you can comfortably and consistently scale Prime All Might to country level with FTL speeds. But let's see how he matches up to the strongest sorcerer of the modern era. Now similarly to All Might, Gojo is a character that scales mostly off of his hacks, being known as Limitless. Limitless is an ability that affects space down to a subatomic level, bringing infinity into reality. Basically, no matter how you approach Gojo, the distance between you and him will constantly be divided. Meaning no matter how far you get, there is always going to be another distance you have to cover, basically creating an infinite distance between you and Gojo. The only way you'd be able to bypass this is if you had infinite speed, or you just scaled higher than the infinity. But this doesn't apply to All Might, so meh. Now there are different applications of Gojo's infinity. There is blue, red, and purple. Blue is when Gojo divides space so much to the point that it begins to make negative space. Basically, it creates negative distance between him and anything he wants. But that doesn't make any sense. There can't be things like negative distances. So the universe tries to correct this by using regular space to cover up the negative space. But this creates something like a black hole. not the literal black hole, but something very similar to it, allowing Gojo to even crush his opponents if he wanted to. Red is the exact opposite of blue. Instead of sucking things in, it repels things away. Just the amplified version of Limitless, basically. And then there is purple. This is where the scaling really starts. Now, in Gojo's first use of purple, he was able to vaporize and pulverize a large chunk of the earth, which was capped to around city block or town level. But that was just in Gojo's first appearance. Later on, we get to see a character known as Yuki, which basically has the ability to place a artificial mass onto herself or other objects. She can apply so much mass on herself, in fact, that she literally can turn into a black hole, which she does. A black hole that was stated was going to destroy the world. And the only reason the world wasn't destroyed was because she had nullified the black hole before, well, she turned into a black hole. Tengen was suppressing the black hole with a barrier, and Kenjaku was suppressing the barrier from the inside. Now, the reason why this would scale to Gojo is because while yes, none of them would directly scale to the black hole, they would at least scale off of it. And Gojo is far stronger than the three of them combined, especially Tengen, who was doing most of the work. So this would already scale Gojo to small planetary. Now for speed, Gojo doesn't have any speed scaling. Let me not even lie with you. He has zero speed scaling. While yes, his hollow purple is made of imaginary mass, so it has FTO speeds. If he's not fast enough to activate the attack, doesn't really matter. You could scale, he scales above Maki, who is faster than sound, which makes sense. So yeah, you can comfortably scale Gojo to around small planetary with supersonic speeds. But now that we have that out of the way, who really wins between these two powerhouses? Gojo wins this like horribly. He destroys All Might in every way. Some people would try to argue that All Might can bypass Gojo's infinity because shockwaves have gone through Gojo's infinity before. But the problem with that type of logic is the fact that the only reasons why shockwaves are being shown to pass infinity is because the shockwaves weren't dangerous. As you can see right here, Gojo literally says that infinity allows things to either pass through it or be stopped by it based on its danger level. If the shockwaves are not dangerous to Gojo, they will not be accounted for by infinity. So yeah, that takes away one of All Might's win cons. So you may be saying speed. Speed doesn't really matter if I can't really touch my opponents, now does it? And if Gojo is able to hold down All Might with an unlimited void, which basically dumps an infinite amount of information into the user's brain, it would probably kill All Might since All Might is a human. But that's boring, so let's say that it doesn't. If he can stun All Might with a 0.2 unlimited void, he can use purple to absolutely just destroy him. Or he can use blue to crush him. Or he could use a maximum output purple. We've never seen a maximum output purple. No, he's 200% purple is not a maximum output purple. There is a difference between maximum output and 200%. Do you not know mathematics? So yeah, Gojo wins this fight fairly easily. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And oh yeah, go check out my brand new Discord server, once again, link in the description. But yeah, until next time, keep it fizzy.